So, Charlotte, when you're talking to, say, government ministers and various other sort of outside, well, not outside, but the stakeholders on a sort of a national level and so forth, we've got Ofcom, you've got all those sort of different push and pull factors going on. What are the sort of conversations? I mean, how easy is it to get the message across? I mean, you're often at the chalk face, at the coal face of what's going on. You've got a sense of really what things that need changing, and a lot of the time it's about getting the message across to say this doesn't seem to be working, this could work better. How receptive are the powers that be, the ministers, all the other people, the civil servants, all the other people that really make up the piece?
A lot of the time, civil servants are just as frustrated as we are, but can't necessarily say that. And, sometimes we know that policy decisions are made that are the wrong ones, but once that decision is made, it's sometimes difficult to unravel. What I found particularly in recent times, and, this is very, very well documented, is a lot of conversation revolves around there's not enough money in the system. Now, the reality is they can't change that. So it's thinking more creatively of actually what else do we need to do that can make the system more effective and efficient. And this might sound that I'm doing myself out of a job actually with what I'm about to say next. So there's been a lot of criticism quite recently around the cost of endpoint assessment, the amount of time it takes for people to be in endpoint assessment, and having the right capacity when it comes to assessors. So from a government department, you could just say, well, that's not working, let's scrap it. But actually, there's other ways where we can improve that and make that work. So part of it is actually that solutionising without throwing the baby out with the bathwater to a certain extent. And I just think we know that there's not going to be more money in the system, but actually how can we continue to have quality teaching and learning, but make other parts of the system, endpoint assessment, more efficient and more workable?
Okay. I think there's been a theme in the last sort of every sort of conference, whether it's an ELP conference or an AAC or any of those sort of big conferences, when everybody gets together, that they feel that, there's been, particularly with endpoint assessments, that the government's been too slow, or it's not been ready, or it's not really listened and so forth. And the infrastructure in terms of the vision and the infrastructure don't seem to match, or sometimes there's a lack of vision, or the intention's there, but the implementation isn't working. So what's your general sort of thoughts and outlook on this?
I think what we end up with is policymakers will have an idea, they'll be asked to do something by a minister, and they'll go off and come up with what they believe the solution is without actually having the right people in the room to help them get to that, aka the people that are going to be on the ground. Developing, delivering and making this work. So it comes back to that collaboration and building a trusted system where it's felt they can come to individuals and have those conversations and recognise none of us are trying to catch them out. We all want to make it as work as much as they do, but tell us what the problem is you're trying to deal with so we can help find the solutions for you. And we still need to work more on those trusted, open conversations where I feel quite often things get shrouded in mystery and saying, okay, what really is the problem? Be honest with us. Say there is no more money in the system, so stop asking for more money. But what we need to do is make sure more people are passing and the system is working more efficiently. If people were honest and said that, then we could certainly, as an industry, work with them to improve those areas that they're trying to tackle.
Canny Conversation Podcast Series 5 by Safaraz Ali.